Hi, BrenTech here, where tech is made simple. So when you open your task manager on Windows 10 or Windows 11, it's not uncommon to see your RAM usage sitting at 70, 80 or even 90%. And when that happens, a lot of people assume that their PC is slowing down or the operating system is using too many resources, or it's time to upgrade to more memory, which obviously in some cases is true. But what is happening here is that instead of letting your memory sit idle, what Windows 11 is doing, it's using available RAM to cache data and keep frequently used apps ready to launch faster, with the goal to make the system feel more responsive. And what's happening is that the operating system is taking advantage of all the hardware that it's been given to make the system feel more responsive. Now, this is also why two computers with the same amount of memory can show very different usage in Task Manager, even when the performance feels nearly identical. So when the system uses RAM to cache files, in a good scenario, it will immediately give that memory back when another app needs it. But in a bad scenario, if a single app or browser tab is consuming several gigabytes of memory because of poor optimization or a memory leak, then that's a legitimate resource problem and a cause for concern. Now, lower memory usage doesn't automatically translate into better performance. And Windows 11 often stores useful information in memory to speed up common tasks. So trying to clear that data may reduce the percentage shown in Task Manager, but it doesn't always make the computer faster. In some situations, the OS simply reloads the same information back into memory moments later, and that's why it's not a good idea to use RAM clearing apps or optimizers to clear memory and clear RAM on your PC. They actually, at the end of the day, don't achieve much because the system just reloads that information back into your memory shortly after clearing. And this is also true when clearing RAM on an Android device, as an example. Now, when you should actually worry is when apps take longer to open, and sluggish multitasking and random slowdowns are usually better indicators than the numbers shown in Task Manager. And another sign is when the system begins to rely heavily on virtual memory, forcing it to move data between RAM and storage. That's when performance can start to suffer noticeably. And if you don't know what virtual memory is, I've posted a whole video which will give you a lot more information. I'll leave it linked down below and in the end screen if you'd like to find out more about virtual memory. And obviously there are other factors that can affect system performance, including the type and speed of your local drive. Is it an HDD or an SSD? Available disk space can be a factor, and obviously excess startup apps and background processes, and the list goes on. That's just naming a couple that can affect your PC performance. So irrespective of the amount of RAM you have installed, if you have 8 gigabytes like I have on this recording device of mine, 16 or 32 or above, what's going to happen is the system will always use the available RAM if it can improve performance. Especially true with Windows 11. And to some extent or the other, that's how the operating system is built and is meant to do and is supposed to do. And it's important to note at the end of the day that unused memory doesn't make your computer faster. So signs that it is time for more RAM is when you start noticing slowdowns, app reload, stuttering, or other performance issues during normal workflow. So let me know what you guys think down below. Do you think that Windows 11, in regards to RAM usage, in most cases, instead of letting the memory sit idle, is using the available RAM and it's taking advantage of your hardware that you have given the operating system to utilize? Let me know your thoughts. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.